Hey, this is Andy. Glad to meet you. I'm here in your new 392 and I hope you enjoy it and get to know it a little bit, show you some of the features, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy these Jeeps, and maybe we'll see you on the trail sometime. All right, try and do this. Not used to doing video deliveries. Okay, obviously the 392's got a little different sound on startup, and the performance exhaust is on. That's one of the things I've got down here. This little raccoon button, I call it. That's my performance exhaust. You can quiet it down, and if I hit it again, you can hear the exhaust changes a little bit, gives you a little more throaty sound. I enjoy it, but certainly not a necessary feature. So right above it, you'll see that there's 3 lights here for my heated seats. It is below 40 degrees right now, so as I started up the vehicle, the heated seat and heated steering wheel both turned on automatically. So I'm going to turn those off while I'm shooting the video. And your passenger heated seat over here can be turned on and off also. So all my climate control is controlled down here, which is nice. I can control it in the radio system up here. I'm old school. I like to be able to control it down here. I can turn my temperature up and down. You can see up here, I can go to a certain particular temperature on each side, and then just hit the auto button, and then I'll go to that temperature. You heard my fan turn on. It's going to try and make it that temperature in the cabin. I do have a front defrost. Right now we're getting some nasty weather, so I can use that front defrost and a rear defrost. I can change the mode if I want to get my feet warm, and of course the AC and recirc button just like before. I've got a mute button down here for the radio, again my performance exhaust, my traction control, which when you're off-road a lot of times you want to take that off, your emergency lights, your park sensors, which a lot of times you want to turn that off when you're backing up to a trailer, your off-road cruise control, and you can turn your screen off here. Sometimes it gets a little bright at night. You want to turn that off just so your cabin's a little darker, a little more comfortable to drive at night. Okay, that is pretty much my climate control. I also have my radio volume and tuning there, and also I can do that in the radio system itself. You get 6 months of XM radio. Don't know what your favorite stations are, but if you have a favorite, like I like channel 25, Classic Rewind, I can go press and hold the button and that becomes one of my favorites. One of the things I really like about the Uconnect system is on the back of the right hand I have a little volume control, so I can turn the volume up and down without having my hand leave the steering wheel. On the back of the left hand I can actually change the channel up and down without actually having my hand leave the steering wheel. And it's real convenient, real nice to use, and it's the same on every FCA product, so it's nice going from vehicle to vehicle. As I go through the other things on here, I can go to my climate control. Like I said, I like the one that's down here because I'm old school, but I can control it on the screen. My controls give you my heated seat, heated steering wheel. Again, I have buttons down here. I can see my backup camera without getting out of it and putting it into reverse, and I can go into my settings. This is where if I don't want the heated seats to come on automatically, I could change that. I could set up what my auxiliary switches do. I could set up how long I want the radio to stay on after I turn off the vehicle. A lot of different features right there. Go into the next button over is my apps. Apps are all the little different things that control things in the vehicles. A couple really neat apps. One, for 5 years you get this travel link. You can check out the local fuel prices, see what they are. Big difference between Murphy and Meyer right now, $2.92 and $3.30. And I can actually see the weather right now, see a weather map, and I'll see that storm is going right across. So neat things. I can see the weather forecast, see what's going on for the next 5 days. Got some good weather coming. So neat app. Again, you get that for 5 years. All right. Sorry about the breakup there. I had a battery run low on me. Back to the apps. One of the other apps is Off-Road Pages. Off-Road Pages gives you a couple different things that you can do. As it loads here, one, we can see our gauges all at once, so you can keep track of them. Also, I have my steering angle that it'll watch. I can see that, go back and forth. My accessory gauges all on one screen, and pitch and roll, which is kind of neat, especially if you are in an off-road situation. In there, I can set up my hotspot, my Go services, which I will send you a link to set up your Go services. I can see my backup camera without actually putting it into reverse, and gets my heated seat, steering wheel, my audio settings, and climate control, and set up my phone. Again, that's in your apps button. Then you have your navigation. This is your Garmin navigation. The vehicle does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but this is Garmin navigation. So if you're in an area without cell service, you'll still have a map, and you can navigate to different areas. You can do the where to. You can put in an address. Of course, you'll have to do that while stopped, or you'll have to do it with a voice prompt up here.
Search and go. Say an address or point of interest.
So that you'd have to say an address to go in there. Setting up the phone's going to be straightforward. You'll say yes, you want to pair a phone, and then go into your settings of your phone, go to the Bluetooth, and then set. The Uconnect system's one of the most simple to do. And then your settings down here, again, you can get to that through a couple different places, but it's where you'd set up whether you want things in kilometers, or if you want it in miles per hour, how you want your clock set up, whether you have it standard or military, whether you want the heated seats to turn on automatically. Personally, I tend to put the settings, maybe I'll put my travel link down there, or my off-road pages down there. I'll put something down there that I might want to use more often than my settings button. So I don't have to open up my apps to get there. So, and that was just pressing and holding, dragging and dropping to put it there. So that's my main control screen there. I'm going to switch to a different control screen, and that is in the center here. If I look, I've got a little screen here that I can change. That screen is changed by the buttons right here. I have 4 buttons, and then I have the OK button in the center. As I switch up and down, I can go to the different screens. Number 2 up top left. Let me see where you see that. Number 1 top left. Now it's number 2. There's dots below, so I can go right and left, and I can see all sorts of different information. I can go down one more to number 3. Again, in my dot below, I can see a couple different things to do. Number 4. Number 5, fuel economy. I can reset those and keep separate fuel economies. Number 6, my trip. I've got 2 different trips I can keep. Number 7 tells me what I have on my radio. Number 8 for messages for the vehicle. And number 9, screen setup, where I can put, like in the top left right now I have west, in the top right I have 27 degrees Fahrenheit. I can change that if I want something different there. See, I got a full tank of gas, and the engine temperature is running right about in the middle right now. Over to the right, you can see my miles per hour there, and over here you can see it's in 4-wheel auto. Unlike a lot of the other Wranglers, the 392 is 4-wheel auto standard. It does not do 2-wheel drive. Then you can go into 4-wheel part-time, which is kind of locked in 4-wheel drive, neutral, and 4-wheel low. You do have paddle shifters, minus there, and a plus over here. Also on the steering wheel over here, I can pick up my phone with the green button, hang up with the red button, and I have a voice prompt button here. If I hit and release that, I can change the radio station. Tune to 101.7 FM.
Tuning to 101.7 FM.
And then if you're on a different, if you're on a iPhone, if you press and hold that, you can do Siri. Over here, you have your adaptive cruise control here. I can press and set, and then I can change the distance to the vehicle in front of me with those 2 buttons there. If you want to just use normal cruise control, you'll press this button and set. My lights are over here to turn to auto there, and then this is my fog light button here. Over here are my mirror controls. All right, that is pretty much my settings there, besides my wipers, which are pretty normal over here, blinkers and brights on the side there. So if we go down from the center stack, you have your your windows in the center, rear locks for the windows, 12 volt, and where I'll plug in for my Apple CarPlay, Android Auto for the phone, some aux switches where I can do lights, my front and rear lockers for off-roading. Normally I'll use those, I'll go into 4-wheel low to use those, off-road plus, and then the sway bar disconnect so that I can actually not rock the vehicle quite as much as I'm going through obstacles. Shifting into 4-wheel drive lock, I would just shift it into 4-wheel drive by just going like that, and that gets it out of that auto 4-wheel drive into locked 4-wheel drive. If I want to put it into 4-wheel low, which if I'm off-roading and want to put on those lockers, normally I'll put it into 4-wheel low. I'm going to take this, put the vehicle into neutral, go over to the right, get it into neutral, and then shift it down all the way into 4-wheel low. Okay, and if I'm all the way down into 4-wheel low, now I can put my lockers on and disconnect my sway bars and be ready to go to Drummond Island. It's quite the machine. It is definitely ready to take on quite a bit of obstacles. I certainly hope you enjoy it. There are other things to be doing with it too. We talked about that one-touch top. Go up here. You do have controls to open that up, let the grandkids enjoy the sunshine, pull it all the way back while you're driving. Obviously we got a little bit of ice last night. I'd rather not let that in the vehicle right now. And over here I can set my garage door opener right from the visor. Hope you enjoy the vehicle. Hope I didn't bore you too much. And certainly you can call, text, whatever you want with questions. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.